Well, good morning. If you've just tuned in, of course, this is the Saturday edition of Morning Live. Let's continue with some more news now. In fact, the Sunday roast is a beloved gathering that merges the joy of music and the delight of good food in a unique and festive atmosphere. Of course, that season finale is going to be held in May. So affectionately known as the happiest place on earth, this event has become a treasured tradition. The event features a variety of local musicians and bands, adding a vibrant soundtrack to all of the festivities. So Head of Events and Operations Director Amahle-Imvelo Jaxa joins us in studio to tell us a little bit more about this finale. Amahle, Amy, good morning. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm good. Well, firstly, congratulations on this feat.
Yes.
I know that it's bittersweet because it is coming to an end, but perhaps you can take us back and talk to us about the inspiration behind it and how you managed to influence Sunday events at large.
So it all started with some of us were expats in Joburg, and we wanted to basically break bread together on Sunday because we weren't having Sunday lunches in varsity. So we decided to come up with this event where you could essentially hear good music, eat and break bread, and be with your friends who are your family in Johannesburg. And so that's how it started, and it then it evolved into this crazy event that everyone wants access to in Johannesburg. And now, I think 7 years later, this will be our 50th event. We are ending it.
That sounds like full circle, actually. I wonder what some of the special moments are that stand out for you, because as you mentioned, it is nostalgic coming to a big city and having to mix, with people, finding your family and then sharing in good food and music. Yeah,
I think some of my favorite moments for us would be when the people you'd least expect would come to our events. We once had Rick just show up, you know what I mean? And he was just like, I'm not here to perform. I'm not here to do anything crazy. I'm just here because this is the greatest thing on earth. But I think more than anything, in the beginning, it was a password entry. We would share a password. And so you would have all these people sitting down, eating lunch together, and then grooving. And I think those moments for me, connecting with people, were just the moments I treasure.
And so this Sunday roast, it is the grand finale. So what can people look forward to? Is there another password?
No, I think for this one, we just kind of went big and better. And I think with our lineup, we spent quite a bit of money on it because we're cheapskates at times. But we spend a lot of money on our lineup. We've got some oldies who've, like Durban Gogo, who started playing off at Sunday roast back in the day. We've got some new acts as well, because as Until we also believe that we need to give the opportunity to new up-and-coming artists. So I think for us, it's going to be an emotional tearjerker, but we're really excited.
Because it's also been dubbed the happiest place on earth.
Yes.
And again, as you mentioned, it's not just about good food, it's also about creating opportunities for other people, because the art scene in South Africa needs that. So how do you think it's become dubbed as the happiest place on earth? Well, what does that mean?
So it started off as when people would, on the Monday, people would say to us, oh my God, we were so happy yesterday, right? And slowly it started evolving into that's the happiest place on earth. And I think that's because we gave people a genuine feeling of just community, togetherness, and that kind of vibe. And so people just started calling it the happiest place on earth, and we took that and we ran with it. It's the same slogan Disney uses. So so that's how we came up with that slogan.
I was looking at, logistics and preparation, because that's a mammoth task. It takes a lot. You had to navigate COVID as well. So obviously that must have also interrupted things. How did you overcome that? What are some of those tips you also have for people, especially because you are specialists when it comes to events?
Yeah, I think for us, when it came to our events, the only reason we survived COVID was because we had saved so much. We'd saved a lot of money, and so our company was managed to stay afloat. But I think post-COVID, we then became very innovative, and during that time of the pandemic and restrictions, let's create another event, and that event is called Good Morning. It was within those limits of, it starts at 10 a.m., it ends at 6 p.m. It was a small amount of people, it's outside in the open, live bands, and so more than anything, it forced us to be innovative and create something else that suited a pandemic era, and is also now equally as successful, if not going to be bigger than Sunday roast. So it kind of pushed us out of our comfort zone a little bit, I think.
Yeah. And so people are asking what's next, because now it's a 7-year full circle moment, but obviously you can't just leave things there. What can people look forward to from your end, at least for the rest of the year?
Until you can expect to have a good morning. That's the event that I was just speaking to you about. It's about live bands. It's about, once again, giving an opportunity to people who wouldn't naturally be on the stage. And then we've got a couple of surprises. We've got Glitterati, we've got Genesis All Black later on in the year. Just our normal events that we always go through, but like we're going to be focusing quite a bit on Good Morning.
Okay, how do people contact you? Are there still tickets available? Where's the venue? What's the password?
The password is a website. So please go on to until_ZA on Twitter and on Instagram, or Sunday Roast ZA on Instagram and Twitter. And you'll find a link in our bio. Our tickets are 85% sold out. Okay. We're doing it at the Newtown train station, the old train station, which is also one of the first places where we threw a very big party. So it's all very nostalgic. And the party will go on from 12 until midnight, which is also the first time we've gone until midnight.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they are first for everything as well. Amy, I've seen you grown also over the years. You've seen me grow.
Yeah, I can't believe you're on TV.
I wonder how how would you say this journey, the 7-year journey, has changed you as a person? How do you think you've also managed to just contribute to that space, for South Africa?
Yeah.
And also open up more spaces for others, because it is ultimately about sharing the gifts that we have.
Yeah, I think for me, being a student of politics, I think it goes further for me than just having a business just to make money out of. And I think that's why we have a philosophy of like trying to uplift and grow people. But I think Until has been around for 11 years now. And for us, we are getting to that point where the company is growing and I get to employ young people. And I get, to do work that's impactful, for example. And I think that's my contribution to society for now. There'll be more later, but I think...
No pressure.
Yeah, I think now that when I look around my office and there's all these young Gen Zs in the office, and it's just like, that's what I do. And for me, that's the best thing I could ask for.
Well, your eyes sparkle when you speak about it. I can see it resonates. Thank you for joining us bright and early, and thank you for sharing your story. All the best of luck.
I appreciate it.
And we'll see you on the other side with the Wi-Fi password. Of course, Head of Events and Operations Director at Until Amahle-Imvelo Jaxa. Just talking to us about the season finale, of course, of the event that's dubbed the happiest place on earth. It's the Sunday Roast. Let's leave it there.